What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and it's my birthday! Yay! And it's also vlog day, which means it's time for episode 41 of my Let's Vape vlog series, where we talk about a whole bunch of different stuff affecting the vaping industry, me, my life, my channel, and just everything else in between. I've got a fairly light show on tap for you guys today. We are not going to have any sort of snack time or beer o'clock, unfortunately. And, you know, we're going to keep it light and airy since it is my birthday and all, but we do have some serious topics to talk about at the top of the show. We have some news and updates and that kind of thing. We have some first impressions to do after that. We have a single solitary shout out. We have what I've been vaping on this past week. We then have some vape mail to take a look at, and I'm going to round it out with a random review. So let's go ahead and get started here. Grab your favorite mod, grab a frosty beverage if you want one, sit back, relax, and let's vape. So let's start it off with a nice, happy, light topic. Today is my birthday. I am 31 years old today, and honestly, I don't feel any older than I did yesterday, but with that, I feel like there's a certain level of kind of maturity and responsibility and everything that you get after you turn 30 years old. I feel like you kind of slow down a little bit, you know, not only your metabolism, but also just kind of you in general. You kind of like relax a little bit more. I mean, 10 years ago, pretty much to the day, I was out bar hopping, and nowadays, I like sitting at home and hanging out on Discord with the Stooge family and all those guys and just talking with my friends, basically. So, you know, I don't drink nearly as much as I used to. I pretty much only drink one night a week, and that's it for me. Usually it's when I do the live streams. So I've been trying to find ways of staying a little bit healthier, and I've noticed that I was going down a pretty bad spiral with the energy drinks and the sugary beverages, so I kind of cut those out of my life recently. And if any of you follow my personal Instagram page, then you would know that, or even my Daily Vape TV Cloud Crew on Facebook, the group there. With that, yeah, I've been drinking a lot of water recently. I've been trying to cut out as much sugar out of my diet as I can, and I've been kind of controlling my portions a little bit more. But it's really tough to stay healthy when you work at a vape shop because you kind of sit around a lot all day, and I mean, there are parts that do get active if you're running to the back room and back and all that stuff, but I feel like it's a fairly sedentary lifestyle. And also being a YouTuber, I'm sitting here right now in front of a camera just yapping away. I mean, I don't feel that old, honestly. I feel young at heart, and I'm definitely not that mature in that aspect, you know, but I like to have a good time. I like to goof around with my friends, and I try to make adult decisions. I recently purchased a car, and, you know, could have gone for something really sporty and cool looking and all that, but I went for something that was way more modest and responsible. I got a hybrid, so I'm getting much better gas mileage, and I'm kind of enjoying that for the time being, but the payments, definitely not going to be enjoying in the near future. Anyways, that's pretty much my sum up of my birthday. You know, I'm really not planning on doing anything special. Hopefully you guys can join me for a little chat later on today. I'll be doing that for my patrons. If you want to sign up, you can get in on that right down there in the description below. That's kind of another thing I wanted to talk about real quick. I will be retooling my Patreon kind of page a little bit. I'm eliminating the $2 category, so basically if you just want to get in on the ground level, $1 a month, very simple. Then I'm going to do the $5, $10, and $20 tiers, and that will basically give you different giveaways. So $5 you'll be entered into one giveaway, $10 you'll be entered into 2 giveaways, and $20 you'll be entered into 3 different giveaways a month, and that's, I think, pretty darn cool. So I'm going to be doing also kind of tiered rewards as well for those. We have the $5 tier is going to be something pretty basic, like a you know, a cheaper RDA or a sub-ohm tank, or maybe even like a little starter kit kind of thing. The $10 tier is going to be mostly a little bit more expensive RDAs or tanks, and then the $20 tier is going to be mods. I'm going to include a mod every single month for my giveaway, you know, giveaways for Patreon. And that's how I'm going to structure it. There's also going to be the $50 tier, but I really don't expect a lot of people to go in for that. Don't expect you guys all to sign up. It's not a big deal, but those of you that are generous enough to give, you know, even $1 a month, I really do appreciate that. And I've stated this time and time again, but I feel like I have to reiterate, I do not use any Patreon money for anything in my personal life. Actually, I still have not cashed out any of the Patreon money, and it's sitting in the account currently. I'm not trying to digitally beg here, guys. It's just basically stuff for the channel, stuff that I put back into the channel, things like I'm trying to save up to build a website and host a website and get my domains and everything set up, and I want to do an online shop as well so that I can get you guys some hats, some shirts, some vape mats, some sticker packs, and maybe some other fun stuff as well. So that's kind of what I'm using this sort of money for. And also camera gear. You know, camera gear is very expensive. I've already spent thousands on camera gear of my own money, and you know, I'd never really ask for anything in return, but if you are so generous, then you can sign up for the Patreon. If you don't want to sign up for Patreon, then you can do a one-time donation of a couple of bucks to the paypal.me link right down there in the description as well. Thank you to all my patrons, by the way. I hope you're enjoying the list of names at the end. I'm trying to figure out a good system to do that, and I feel like we're starting to get in the groove with that. And on a happy note, I won the appeal on the strike against my channel with YouTube, and once again, I am able to live stream, so I'm super psyched to announce that. I'm really happy that they took the strike away from me, because that was definitely an unjust thing that they went and did. And obviously the news broke that a ton of other YouTubers got strikes on their channel as well, and from what I've heard, a lot of them also got their strikes removed. But I will keep you guys posted on this situation because it's still kind of a developing story. A couple of those YouTubers did not get their strikes removed, which we'll talk about in a future Let's Vape video once all the news kind of comes rolling through here. But with that, I won my appeal. That is something that is excellent news for me and my channel, so just really psyched about that, and it's definitely something to celebrate. So I guess we should start talking about some more serious topics, starting with the team that developed Wet Lung. Now, I really don't want to focus too much on the original article because every single click of that link will make it more famous and will get that information out to more and more people, and I really don't want anyone sharing this article. I want to focus more on the response from Dr. Farsalinos, and there's an excellent article written on vapenews.com that I'm just going to be reading snippets off of here. First of all, it says, MSN, among other news outlets, has scooped up the story of an 18-year-old woman who, according to them, developed wet lung after vaping for only 3 weeks. The case of the unnamed patient followed a progression in which the patient took up vaping as an alternative to smoking to manage stress attendant to her job as a restaurant hostess. 3 weeks later, she was admitted to the hospital suffering from difficulty and pain associated with breathing. Doctors diagnosed her condition as hypersensitivity pneumonitis. Pneumonitis, otherwise rarely known, unless it can be made into a sensationalist headline, as wet lung. The usual anti-vaping devils are marched out onto the stage, said Dr. Casey Summerfield, the pediatrician of an adult patient and lead author of the case report. It is difficult to speculate on how frequently this could happen. However, there are a few case reports involving adults that developed respiratory distress following electronic cigarette use. As electronic cigarette use increases, we will be seeing more and more case reports and side effects. Nevertheless, Dr. Konstantinos Farsalinos was asked for his assessment of the particulars. His response: "This is the first that I see a case report being featured in the media. This is a new low for e-cigarette opponents. The wet lung is total nonsense. The case was about an allergic reaction causing pneumonia. Acute hypersensitivity pneumonitis is reported to present between 4 to 6 hours after exposure to the catalyzing antigen. Subacute hypersensitivity pneumonitis may be indicated in this case, but seems less than likely a chronic hypersensitivity pneumonitis, even less so. In any case, the condition can stem from, as the case report itself states, antigens from microbial agents such as moldy hay or grains, farmer's lung, or with animal proteins and avian droppings, bird fancier's lung." So basically what we have here is the doctor's educated guess at best. I really feel like they didn't follow the standard procedures and they didn't do all the testing that could have been done in order to properly diagnose this young woman, and therefore they just kind of blamed it on what she was doing at the time. I think the whole thing is bullshit if you ask me, and it's really not even worth looking into because I've been vaping for 7 years and I know a lot of people that have been vaping as long as I have or even longer that have never experienced any sort of respiratory distress. Even when I do get sick nowadays, I actually feel better than I did when I was a smoker. So, I mean, obviously, yeah, this is all short-term stuff, but I feel like the science will eventually back it up. You know, eventually when we do get long-term studies in, 20-year, 30-year studies on vaping, then we will be able to prove it without a doubt that there is nothing wrong with vaping. But, you know, at the end of the day, obviously I'm not a doctor, so I really can't diagnose anything myself. Personally, I feel like the American medical system is just completely jacked. No one really wants to do anything except for blame something and or prescribe something. So at the end of the day, I just really feel like we need to completely just tear down the entire medical system that we have in America and build it back up from the bottom without having such bias to prescribe drugs and have these agendas. You know, some doctors will promote vaping, some doctors won't. Some doctors want to push their medicines for their kickbacks because, you know, Big Pharma is involved in all of this, guys. You got to realize that Big Pharma is lining doctors' pockets with Chantix money, and they are loving it. So just be aware of that. Open your eyes and kind of open your ears to the real situation that's going on behind the curtain. Not only that, of course, you're going to have a sensationalized news story on the mainstream media. You're going to have people ranting and raving how vaping is bad, and then I'm going to get it at the vape shop. People are going to walk into my store saying that they're going to get wet lung or they have wet lung. I've actually had people say they've gotten popcorn lung. They've walked into my shop with a straight face and said, I think I have popcorn lung. And I had to look at them and I had to just take a moment to chuckle and basically prove them wrong. So it just boggles my mind that people get things in their head so deep down that they actually start believing. It's kind of like a psychosis, but this is really, really just pissing me off now, so I better just move on before I start cursing. So what do we have next? Let's see. So, flavorshookkids.org. You know what? I saw this today and I just went to the site. I'm going to link it in the description below, but I don't want you guys to really share this around. I'd rather you guys just take a bunch of screenshots of what they have up there and share those images in your Facebook groups and whatnot, just because I want you to see the actual lies that they're printing here. First of all, main page, the one we've been seeing a lot is Juice Box, the e-liquid juice box. And it says, what is this? And it says, this is not apple juice. Why flavors? Flavors mask the harsh taste of tobacco, making it easier for kids to get hooked on nicotine. The tobacco companies know this. Oh yeah, the tobacco companies, all of us tobacco companies. They also know that flavor means a whole lot more. It's how we celebrate, how we nurture, and in many cases, how we pass down culture in kitchens all over California. Go figure, this is another California anti-vaping website. They really are on a mission in California to just abolish vaping altogether, which doesn't make any sense to me. They are one of the most progressive states, yet they're just limiting themselves in their appeal by doing all this. Man, I really feel bad for you guys out in California because you have to deal with all this directly, but at the end of the day, you guys all vote, so make sure you guys get out there when there's an election and vote these people out of office. There's millions of you out in California. You can do this. I know you guys can. You got to get a better system out there, but it goes on to say the emotional ground they're mining is giving way to a terrifying number of flavors, crafting a more is more mentality by which kids can always say, I haven't tried that one yet. No, because adults like choice. Adults like flavors and adults like choice. What more is there to it? You know, I mean, would you go to a store that has flavor A and flavor B and that's all you get? I mean, that's basically what it's going to come down to. If the government gets their way, we're going to have tobacco and menthol, or maybe not even menthol. If they really have their way, they would rather us just have generic tobacco. Boring, no labeling, just gray packaging with a giant warning on the front, giant warnings on the side, just nothing but warnings. Call it warning e-liquid. With thousands of flavors, you might wonder how they haven't run out of options. Here's the trick. Not all their flavors are actual flavors. To maximize potential profit, they move beyond the limits of what kids taste and into more sacred space of what kids imagine. Cha-ching. What? Those couple sentences did not make any sense. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. This is beyond ridiculous. I'm not even even a tenth of the way down the page yet. Oh, then it has a little test that shows a bunch of vapor products and a bunch of like kiddie sort of products like USB drives and slushies and then, you know, JUUL pods and stuff. Then it shows some reviews, some kiddie reviews of e-liquid products, it looks like. I mean, these could all be bullshit. These could all be fake. These are probably fake. I mean, a couple of these look fake. A couple of these look staged. I mean, I'll let you guys be the judge, but, you know, it's just bad. Oh boy, this is a good one. Know the signs, how kids are getting it. While California state law prohibits the sale of tobacco products to anyone under age 21, kids get it. Here are 6 common ways. Vape products all over social media, and many promote the sale of their products right from their accounts. What? No. First of all, no, because if you're a professional business, you're going to have a professional business page, which we're allowed to have on Facebook. However, we cannot promote. We cannot pay to promote products. I mean, being a vape store employee, we cannot pay to boost our posts on Facebook. We can't, like, help to get our products out there to our customers, and it's a real struggle actually getting any sort of attention on Facebook because you just get buried by the people that are paying good money to promote their products. Website age gates are easily bypassed, and kids use a parent's name for shipping. In fact, kids successfully buy e-cigs online 94% of the time. 94% of the time. Where are you getting this number from? Are you getting 1 out of 10 people didn't get it, or how do you get this number? I really want to know. Personally, I want to know where they get these facts from. Age gates. I mean, there are better age gates out there. If people, you know, really are that concerned about age gates on, you know, online, then there are better ones out there. They're blue check and things like that. I know people hate blue check because it's basically like getting a, you know, a criminal background check, but you know what? It's out there, and it's a product, and it's a thing that we can use as a tool to help stop kids get their hands on these things. But, you know, there's other adult products online that all you have to do is click OK to get through and see. Clerks at tobacco shops, vape stores, gas stations, and convenience store might not enforce the law to not sell to anyone under 21 years old. Okay, so go after the convenience stores. Go after the gas stations that are selling these. I can tell you from my own personal experience from kicking out many underage kids at my vape store that I work at. Yeah, it's a thing. They come in and try to get vape products, but what do? Your job. You ID them. If they're not of age, then you kick them out. You have the FDA's calendar that they actually sent to us, and right next to your register, and you look at it and you look at their license. If the ages don't match up, or if they are under the age that is listed on that calendar, then they don't get vape stuff. That's all there is to it. And at the end of the day, it comes down to enforcement as well. Many vape companies have names that wouldn't raise a red flag on parents' credit card statements, like My Vapor Store, or Vapor DNA, or Element Vape. Look at that. 3 examples right there with vape right in the name. And those are pretty much, you know, very big websites. Vapor Beast is another one. All have vape in the name. How is that not a red flag? Online orders can be delivered to Amazon lockers in supermarkets or convenience stores. Well, you know what? I didn't even think of that at first, so now you're just giving them tips. This is ridiculous. Now kids are going to go on this website and read that and go, oh, that's a good idea. So thank you, flavorshookkids.org. You're giving them tips now. Orders can also be shipped to the homes where parents are at work when the mail comes. Well, a lot of vape companies will require a signature on delivery. Depends on your state laws, of course, but this is just reaching now. It's really reaching. How to tell if your kid is vaping. If their room smells artificially sweet, don't assume it's a scented candle. It could be anything. It's a scented candle, could be air freshener, could be Febreze. Nosebleeds are common among JUUL users. Really? Because I'm a JUUL user and I've never gotten a nosebleed because of a JUUL. Many vapors report increased thirst. Yeah, I mean, you should stay hydrated when you vape, and that's just a tip you know, that's just a tip for everybody. There is often a heightened caffeine sensitivity. What? Really? What? No. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. That's bullshit. I'm not really going to harp on this too much longer. I just want you guys to know that there is so much bullshit on this website. It is unreal. There's just so many false facts and just lies and just misinformation that it is just incredibly ridiculous, if you ask me. E-juice causes arterial stiffness associated with an increased risk of heart attack and strokes in later life. And there are more than 15,500 flavors of e-juice on the market so far. Now, it's funny because a lot of these topics here have a bunch of asterisks around them. Oh, sources, that's their sources. Okay. Well, if any of you are super sleuths out there, I challenge you to debunk as much of this website as you can and just get that out there. Make sure you get the true information out there, because I'm sick and tired of seeing this. This website is just disgusting. It's like making me nauseous now just looking at it. So yeah, guys, this is our enemy. Know your enemy and keep them close, and basically do what you got to do to prevent this from happening again. California voters, you're out there. There's millions of you. Make sure the next election comes around, get these people out of office, and make sure we can stop this sort of thing from happening again. It really saddens me that it's come to this, where there is such an anti-vaping lobby that they have to publish website after website, and we have to respond with that. So I'm assuming that Stefan Dudek is already working on something to debunk this entire website. So I am really curious as to what he's got cooking right now, but I'm sure we'll see that in the next few days. Anyways, I'm just going to move on because I really just can't even stand talking about this anymore. Another really sad thing happened in the vaping industry this week. There was an actual death caused by an e-cigarette or a vaporizer of some kind. We don't know what exactly it was, and honestly, I really don't want to even talk about it whatsoever because I don't have the facts. I really need the cold hard facts before I start reporting a story, and I don't want to spread some bullshit and some lies that you guys have been hearing about all week long. But with that, I just wanted to stress battery safety. I had a nice long talk with my patrons the other day all about battery safety. We had topics being brought up about battery wrappers. Make sure your battery wrappers are on point. You got to make sure there's no holes, rips, tears, wrinkles, crinkles, anything like that in your battery wrappers. Make sure they're immaculate. Check them before you put them on the charger, after you take them off the charger, before you put them in your mod, after you take them out of your mod, and make sure you're keeping them in battery cases. Battery cases are absolutely essential. You really don't want to go anywhere with batteries loose in your pocket with change and keys and all that metal in your pocket. It's going to cause it to short, and it can vent or possibly even explode. So battery cases, guys, they're $1. Battery wrappers, you can get probably 100 of them for $1, and a lot of reputable vape shops will actually be able to give you battery wrappers. If not, rewrap your batteries for you right there at the shop. So, and if you have a vape shop near you that doesn't have battery wrappers, that doesn't offer that sort of thing, then tell them. You should really tell them that they should, because it's very important. A battery wrapper is so easy to change out, and I'm actually planning on doing a video tutorial on how to do that in the very near future, so stay tuned for that. Battery cases are just a no-brainer at this point. It really should be common sense, but I know common sense ain't so common nowadays. Battery cases, I always keep mine in these little plastic cases like this here. They make 3D printed ones. I've showed them off a while ago on the channel, but I feel like I need to reiterate this in a totally separate video. But yeah, you got the plastic ones, the 3D printed ones. You have the silicone cases. I love my silicone cases for my 2700s. They save a little bit of room in my bag and stuff, so those are just great. But yeah, this is important, guys. You want to make sure you're using your batteries correctly, and you don't want to abuse your batteries. Also, another important factor is where your vent holes are on your mechanical devices. If you're using a mech mod, there will either be vent holes up at the top or down at the bottom, so pay attention to that, and that's basically where you are supposed to point your positive terminal on your battery. Some mods nowadays are actually designed to have the positive terminal facing down towards the switch, and others the positive up, so just keep an eye out for those vent holes on your mods. Point the positive terminal towards those vent holes, because the weak spot on batteries is the positive terminal. If a battery is going to fail, it's going to fail towards the positive. So, some people are designing these devices to have their positives facing down, because that way, if you're holding onto your mod, the very least it's going to do is blow out towards the bottom rather than towards your face. So that's kind of why they're doing it. I want to see more mech mod companies come out with Delrin sleeved devices. I really want to see a little bit more battery safety go into the design aspect of mechanical mods. It's really a smart idea to put a Delrin or insulated sleeve inside your device, just in case someone does happen to have a tear in their battery wrapper, and it's that case it doesn't short out on the wall of their mod and cause a massive hotspot, hard short, what have you, and blow it up. So luckily, I've never had any issues with my batteries. I've seen it before, I've seen it firsthand, people venting using batteries and blowing up batteries, and it's really, really scary. And I've seen people's batteries that they take out of their mods, and that's even scarier because I've had people before have battery wrappers that are just half missing, completely half missing, and thinking that's totally fine. I've had people with no insulators at the top of their positive connections. I've had people that have just torn to pieces battery wrappers with liquid on the inside of them and just all sorts of arcing on either terminal, and it's just really, really ugly. And honestly, I feel like that needs to be shamed. I really feel like there should be like a totally separate Instagram account or something called Ugly Batteries or something. Maybe someone could admin that for me, but in either case, yeah, I just really feel like this is something that we need to push every single day. Push the safety factor of vaping. Make sure you, your friends, your family, everybody knows battery safety, because this stuff is seriously important, guys. One last little serious topic before we move on to something a little bit happier. The FDA's comment period for flavored tobacco products is still underway. We have until June 19th until this is over, so we have to get our comments in. You have to do it, your friends have to do it, your family has to do it, your extended family has to do it, your cousin's dog has to do it, I don't care. We really got to push this because it is important. We need flavors in our e-liquids. There's no other question behind that. We need our flavors. I am vaping currently 7 different flavors here, and I switch off between 7 different devices during the week just to try to get something a little bit different so my palate just doesn't get used to one or the other. But yeah, I mean, just submit your comments. That's all you have to do. Even just what I said there could be considered a comment to the FDA. Just a couple of sentences, a paragraph, you know, tell a little bit about yourself and your history with flavors, that kind of thing. That is what's crucial with this here, and just tell them the impact that it's going to make on your life if flavors do go away. So get your comments in, guys. This is extremely important, and we just all have to do our part. Basically, that's what I'm trying to get at here. Just get out there, do your part, educate, and share this with as many people as you can. Share that link out in all your vape groups and all over Facebook and everything else. Just make sure everyone that you know is doing these flavor comments to the FDA, because this is really the baseline of advocacy, guys. This is just how you get started with advocacy. You can just get in on the ground level here just by submitting a couple of words to the FDA and letting them know how important flavors are in your vaping life. All right, guys, so on to some happier topics. Here we have the Ehpro-Billow-X tank. This is an RTA, and I've been using it since Fresh Build Friday, and I gotta say, I am loving it so far. Things I like about it, I really like the bubble glass. It makes it just that much more capacity, and it lasts me about half a day. I really don't go too hard on it, to be honest with you. I'm vaping it at around 65, 75 watts or so, and it's given me a really, really good vape. It gives me a good amount of heat, even though I have the wattage set a little bit on the lower side. Airflow-wise, really nice airflow. I actually have to have it cut off a little tiny bit in order to get the draw that I prefer without getting too much air in the hit. It comes with this nice little resin drip tip as well. I really like that. Kind of a funky little drip tip design there. I'm pretty sure these are going to be random. I don't think they're all going to be that color. This one is like brown, black, gray, and white. So kind of a random color there, but it kind of matches with this Avenger. But anyways, the engravings are nice and subtle. There's really nothing over the top about it. It has basically a backwards deck compared to the Kensai. Instead of the outer posts being a little bit higher, the outer posts are lower on this one, and the middle posts are higher. So kind of a backwards way of doing it. Honestly, I like the Kensai build deck a little bit better because that final wrap going over the top like that makes your cotton go down at a slightly sharper angle, and that way it's just a little bit more efficient to wick more directly to the coil than over the top of another wrap. But with that, it's not too bad. I've never had an issue with wicking at all with this thing. You can kind of chain vape on it, maybe about 2 or 3 puffs before you got to let it sit for a second and catch up. But other than that, I've never had any flooding issues, gurgling issues, nothing like that. Flavor on this thing is impeccable, really, really good stuff. But yeah, I just want to take a puff on it, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, really good stuff. The draw on this one is very, very pleasant. Not too noisy. It kind of has that kind of weird whistle sound to it, but it's really not too bad. I mean, I've had tanks that are much, much worse. I've had RDAs that are much, much worse. So with that, I'm not too mad about it. Moving on, we have the Uwell Nunchaku kit. Now, this one is really interesting because it's a stick battery that is regulated and has wattage up and down. You can turn it on and off. Right now I've got it set to 60 watts, and for a stick that is pretty impressive. It uses a single 18650 battery, and it has the Nunchaku tank on top, and I am absolutely loving that tank, by the way. Flavor on it is excellent. Vapor production is great. Airflow is on point, right where I like it, and just what I was expecting out of it. You know, I really have kind of a high expectation for UL products, and they definitely live up to it with this kit here. The button on it is okay. It's a little bit on the like kind of cheapy feeling, rattly feeling, but you know, for a kind of sort of cheapy kit, I guess you can kind of forgive it. You know, as far as charging it with a USB, I charged it with a USB last night for a little while, and it did get very, very warm. So I'm probably going to be taking the battery out of this one to charge it in the future. I don't know, I have a thing that I just can't stand USB chargers. For some reason, I just really don't trust them, and I've seen too many things go wrong, and, you know, not to mention the wear and tear is definitely a factor when it comes to that. Otherwise, fit and finish, it's got this subtle curve to it and this little ridge up near the top here. Kind of looks a little bit goofy, but it is very ergonomic feeling, and that is definitely making me a happy camper there. So yeah, that's pretty much all for first impressions on the Nunchaku. Let's go ahead and have a vape. And yes, the flavor is on point, and I would expect nothing less from Uwell. This is kind of like the scaled down version slightly of the Crown series. We have this kind of miniaturized Crown 3 coil here. Performance-wise, it's performing excellent. It's a 0.3 ohm coil, or maybe a 0.25. I'm not sure the actual specified range here. It says 0.25, yeah. So it's a 0.25 coil reading at 0.3, which is, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. Not too big of a deal. I feel like UL coils tend to range a little bit more than others, but they still perform very, very nicely. And the last one we're going to take a look at is the Half Moon Mods Squonker. Yeah, this one was given to me by Pat at the Vapor Expo UK. This is actually the Janky AF edition. Now, this is their Blem kind of models, and honestly, there's really not that much wrong with it. A little bit of a finish issue on the side panel here where the logo and the button is, but really doesn't bother me all that much, and there's a little tiny divot in the acrylic right here at the bottom. Not a big deal for me. Honestly, I could care less about that. Fit and finish otherwise, gorgeous. I mean, I would expect nothing less from Half Moon Mods. This transition here is completely seamless. The only way you can tell the difference is because it has a metal texture and it has an acrylic texture, but there is no hang-ups whatsoever. I haven't trimmed my nails in quite a while, and it's not hanging up at all. This thing is absolutely almost practically seamless. But yeah, the button on it does take a little getting used to. It's kind of a small-ish button, and it doesn't really have any sort of tactile feel to it. It just kind of feels like it's kind of bending in, which it is, so I guess that should be appropriate, but it really doesn't have that nice tactile feeling like a few other mech squonkers do that I have. Bottle-wise, it is a nice super soft silicone bottle. I'm using it currently with a single 18650, but this thing is meant for 2650 batteries, so I'm gonna have to pick some up based on Mooch's recommendations. Has this like kind of blackout kind of acrylic here, or clear. What would you even call that? Plexi? I don't even know what that material is, but anyways, yeah, hit-wise, it hits super duper hard. I've got a 0.17 ohm build in this one using some staple wire from Coilology, and this is the Redemption RDA, and this thing hits absolutely phenomenally. Let's go ahead, give it a quick little squonk here, and let's have a rip. Another really cool thing about this device is you can get it in a package with a drip tip that matches your mod, which is really awesome. I love that they offer that, and you can get it in a 510, an 810. This one matches the Redemption. They probably have a whole bunch of other styles on their website. I'll link it right down there in the description below. But yeah, that's about it for first impressions, guys. Let's go ahead and move on. So I've only got one shout out to do this week, and this is totally my bad, my mistake. I completely forgot to mention who gave me the snacks for snack time last week, and that is Emily, aka Lena Cookie. Make sure you guys check her out on Instagram. I'll leave a link right down there in the description below. She is absolutely gorgeous, and she gave me a huge box of snacks to take home from the UK, and I really do have to show her some love and appreciation for that, because she actually went out of her way to grab all of those snacks and drop them off to me, and for me to share with you guys, basically. So Emily, I'm truly sorry, and I really regret not mentioning your name last week on the video, and I hope this makes up for it, at least the littlest, tiniest amount. But with that, have to wish you an early birthday as well. It's her birthday 1 week from mine, so happy early birthday to you, Emily. Make sure you guys go check her out on Instagram. Links right down there, like I said. Drop some thumbs up, drop some comments, and go give her a follow, because she is absolutely stunning, and she takes some amazing pictures as well. So if you guys want a shout out for yourself, then don't forget to email me, dailyvapetv@gmail.com. Just tell me a little bit about yourself, tell me your name, tell me who you want me to shout out, whether it be you or someone else, and just tell me a little bit about your story so I can shout you out properly on one of these Let's Vape videos. Alright guys, it's time to talk about what I've been vaping on for the past week, and I've got a whole bunch of different setups here to talk about. So let's start it off with this one here, the Rage Box Mod by Desire Designs and Homeboy OC. We've got the Augvape Templar RDA on top of there with some Blaz e-liquid berry flavor, my own creation, in the little squonk bottle there. This one has been a great vape all week. It's a nice kind of slightly restricted draw RDA, nice big wide bore tip on there. Wasn't too happy with the tip that comes with it, but we'll get into that in the full review. The Rage itself, yeah, loving this thing. The brushed is absolutely gorgeous, you guys. If you missed out on the brushed, then I really feel bad for you, because this thing is stunning. Next up, I've got the dovpo-vee-vv-box-mod mod with the Hellvape Dead Rabbit on top of there. Really loving this combo right now in variable wattage mode. I've got it set to 4 volts, and that's where I'm going to keep it, because it's a nice hot vape as it is. And with that, yeah, this variable voltage mod, you're going to see a review of that very soon, so keep your eyes out for that. But in the RDA, we've got some of this Hometown Hero e-liquid Rice Krispies Treats flavor. And just like the name suggests, it tastes spot on Rice Krispies Treats with marshmallow and Rice Krispies and all that good stuff. It's a nice, kind of wholesome, heartwarming sort of flavor that's like vaping a hug. Next up, we've got the setup that I call the Purple People Eater, the Defiant Designs TS Triple Parallel Mod with the Recoil Rebel on top and a dock tip for good measure. Inside the RDA, I've got some coil image coils made by my buddy Jimmy. Jimmy, big shout out to you. Make sure you follow him on Instagram for all your coiling needs, right down there in the description if you want to check out his link there. And inside the squonk bottle, I've got some Riot Squad Menthol Molotov in these cool little bottles here. Going to be featuring these guys a whole lot on this channel, because I absolutely dig their e-liquid. Thought this one was going to be straight menthol, but it turns out it's a tropical menthol, which I am loving right now. Next up, we've got the Nunchaku going right now by Uwell, and I gotta say, I am definitely liking this one, because it's just such a convenient little carry around everywhere sort of vape. It's light enough and pocket friendly that you can just take it anywhere, but the flavor on this tank is amazing. And speaking of flavor, I've got this Ultimate Juice slushy line. This is blue raspberry slushy, and I know a thing or two about blue raspberry flavors, owning a company that does nothing but them, and this is a very good blue raspberry slushy. Let me tell you, it's more like a movie theater slushy than I'd say a gas station slushy, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Does that make sense? Just leave a comment. But yeah, let's go ahead and have a vape on this one. Next, we have the Fresh Build Friday set up here, the Avenger by iJoy and the Ehpro-Billow-X tank on top of there. Rocking this one ever since Friday and definitely loving it. We have another Riot Squad e-liquid. This one is Pink Grenade. Oh, this stuff is glorious. It's a pink lemonade with a splash of menthol. Love me some menthol, and I'm getting that in spades now with all of these Riot Squad juices. But yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just want to vape. Again, I'm rocking the RX2 21700 by Wismec with the Falcon Tank by HorizonTech on top of there. This is kind of my leftover setup from Vapor Expo UK. I was rocking this the whole time there with some Sublime by Riot Squad in there. This bottle is pretty much empty. I've got about maybe a mil or two left, and that's it for Sublime. I am super bummed because I really enjoyed that one, and now I basically have just the remainder of this tank, and that's about it. So a little bit sad about that, but I'm going to move on to one of their other flavors right after this one. And last but certainly not least, we have the Half Moon Mods Squonker with the Redemption RDA by Armageddon on top of there, with a half moon tip to match the mod, and this is absolutely gorgeous. This is my kind of show-off kind of setup. This thing, just a thing of beauty, thing to behold, and I really love the combo here. The Armageddon Redemption is just such a good RDA for this job here. Love squonking on this thing because it's got that slightly reduced chamber. Flavor-wise, I'm vaping this Nasty Juice Devil Teeth. Yeah, this one's called Devil Teeth. I'm not even sure the flavor profile, but it's kind of like tropical fruit with some menthol, and I'm digging it. So that's what I've got rocking this week as far as setups goes. I want to know what you guys are vaping out there, so just drop a comment right down there in the box below, and I want to hear from you guys. It's vape mail time. Yay, we've got some vape mail to take a look at. And, you know, I didn't get anything for my birthday, so I'm going to pretend these are birthday presents. You know, I'm just going to imagine some wrapping paper around these. But I've got a couple things to look at today. Let's start off with this one here. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know where this came from. I don't know who sent it to me. Don't remember any emails or anything coming through. So it's a surprise. Yay, I love surprises. So let's just go ahead and open the box here. Ooh, boy. Don't stab yourself. Don't stab yourself, guys. Very important. Cut away from yourself, too. You know, I've been cutting towards myself lately, and that's not a good plan. So, box is open. Let's go ahead and have a look inside. It's a little bit heavy. It's kind of heavy. Oh. What? Oh. All right. Oh. You know what? Demo mentioned these. These are from Hometown Hero e-liquids. This is the legit line. Legit. Too legit to quit. I was actually really curious about these, so I'm glad they sent these along. We've got gooey lemon goodness over a browned cookie crust, a light dusting of powdered sugar. Supporting veterans with every bottle. That's kind of cool. Hometown Hero, good on you. Good on you, Hometown Hero. Sweet lemon bar. All right. We've got straw melon cupcake. Okay, that sounds interesting to me. Juicy watermelon and strawberries with the baked goodness of a frosted cupcake. Wow. All right. That's interesting. You know what? I got to hand it to Hometown Hero. Really pushing the envelope. They never really do, you know, anything ordinary. So got to love them for that. We've got one more here. Not sure what these ones are. Let's have a look. Oh. All right. So it looks like we got some doubles here, so I might actually do a juice giveaway in the near future. We've got another bottle of the lemon bar, and we've got apple cream custard. Ooh, wow. I've got to set up something with one of these on there. A perfect balance of light, sweet Fuji apples dunked in a delicious, heavy whipped cream custard. Wow. So I'm not much of a dessert vapor, but they've got probably just the right amount of fruits in these. I'm actually going to do a quick little finger test. Let's just do a little finger test here. Oh, wow. Yeah. At first you get the Fuji apple, and then you get the custard right after that. And it's kind of like that heavy custard sort of base note. But that Fuji apple in there is very pungent and very interesting. You don't really see too many apple flavors. This is the lemon bar. Oh, yeah. That's straight up lemon bar. Like, heavy, almost lemon pudding, and then that pastry back note to it. I will vape these at some point. I'm going to have to re-wick and reset up something to go with these flavors here, but for now we're just going to do a quick little finger test. And the last one, the strawberry watermelon cupcake. Straw melon cupcake. Let's have a little finger test. That's kind of interesting. The watermelon kind of comes first. It's like a juicy kind of almost like candy watermelon, like Sour Patch Kids kind of watermelon. And then you get like a strawberry cupcake. It's kind of like the way I would describe it is watermelon candy with a strawberry frosted vanilla cupcake, if that makes any sense. But very different, very interesting, and big shout out to Hometown Hero for sending these my way. Make sure you guys go check them out online. Hometown Hero, I believe it's hometownhero.com. As simple as that. There you go. And the next one I've got is from blackoutVapors.com. They sent me something here. Let's go ahead and have a look. I'm going to use the scissors for this one. Let's play it safe and use the scissors. You know what? I'm 31 years old. Can't be going around ripping packages open left and right. Oh, well, even then, I still cut the corner off of the packing slip, so there we go. What do we have here? The one e-liquid. So I got a bunch of juice this week. I am good on juice. We might actually do a giveaway. What do you guys think out there? Do you think that's a good idea? We're gonna have you guys go and check out blackoutvapors.com, sign up for their newsletter, and for every 100 likes the video gets and 100 signups he's got for the newsletter, he's going to give away a bottle. I think that's a good idea. Let me know what you guys think right down there in the comments box, and I'll let our friends over at Blackout Vapors know what you guys think of that. So real quick, let's do a finger test for the one e-liquid. Just do a little glob right there. So this one is meant to be like cereal, strawberry, donut, and milk. A big combination there. And I'm getting strawberry, like strawberry frosting, strawberry donut-ish. A lot of cereal flavor in there, and definitely some cream. And it's very sweet on this one here. So for all you guys that love really sweet flavors, this is probably going to be for you. Kind of not so much my thing personally, but then again, I could see myself vaping this at some point. You know, sometimes I like a nice change of pace, so probably going to throw this on a setup for next week. So pay attention for when I mentioned the one e-liquid, and we're going to do a giveaway as well at some point. So I will keep you guys informed about that. Once again, big shout out to Hometown Hero e-liquid, hometownhero.com, as well as Blackout Vapors for this bottle of the one. And yeah, let's go ahead and do a random review, and then we'll sign out. Alright guys, so today's random review is going to be on Rice Krispies Treats by Hometown Hero e-liquid. Now, this is not something I would normally ever vape. I really don't vape a lot of desserty kind of flavors, but I was just really curious about this one. They sent it to me, therefore I felt it necessary to try it out at the very least. So let's go ahead and take a look at their website. It says, Crispy Treats, Buttery Marshmallow, and Krispies. We wanted to make an e-juice that reminded everyone of the crispy and gooey marshmallow treats Mom used to make. If you like buttery cereal and dessert flavors, it'll be hard to vape anything else once you've tried Crispy Treats. 70/30 VGPG, 50ml bottle or 100ml bottle, available on their website in 0, 3, 6, and 9 milligram. And yeah, pretty cool. I like that. So let's go ahead and give this one a try. Really, I've been vaping this one on and off for the past couple of days, and I've really been enjoying it. So let's go ahead and have a vape. So I'm just going to put this out there. It is my firm belief that these buttery, creamy, desserty sort of flavors taste better at higher voltage / wattage. I really like the higher temperature vape for these kind of dessert flavors because I feel like it just kind of brings in that bold note to it and kind of reminds you of the actual thing. I could just imagine just taking a nice warm, gooey, crispy treat and just taking a big old bite, and that's kind of the experience that I'm getting off of this vape here. And it's really good. It's really, really tasty. You can taste the marshmallow, you can have that little bit of a cereal flavor to it, and you know, for a lot of things it's all about the texture. With this one here, you can almost just imagine yourself eating a Rice Krispies treat square as you're vaping on this one, which is really, really good. So one more vape here and we'll sign out. So if you guys want to grab a bottle of this stuff for yourself, all you have to do is go to hometownhero.com. It is very cost effective. It's only 15 bucks for a 50 ml and 25 bucks for a 100 ml. That is a screaming deal if you ask me. You can also sign up to their newsletter and get a 20% off single-use discount code, which is awesome. So make sure you guys go check that out if this flavor sounds good to you. But that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Big shout out to you guys in the notification squad for getting here early. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of the topics that we talked about in this video. Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, all that good stuff. All those links right down there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.